We're at InsurTech Connect Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay. We're pleased to be joined by Further AI co-founder and CEO Aman Gaur. Aman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, James.
So you guys have been a little bit of an exciting story in the last year or so. You guys just did a big Series A fundraise with Andreessen. Seems like you guys are starting to get some really interesting traction in the market. I don't know if you guys refer to yourselves as an underwriting workspace. For those who don't know, just tell us a little about the business, but also tell us about the fundraise, how they came together, and what it would allow you to do.
Yeah, we just announced our Series A with Andreessen, which is one of the biggest Series A in insurance AI. This comes right after our seed, like 6 months after our seed round, which was in April. So we're very excited about all the traction that we are getting. What we are building at Further AI is an AI workspace for insurance. What that means is you have an AI that understands the nuances of insurance, can deal with the complex documents, but you can automate many workflows that are currently manual and repetitive, workflows that people don't like doing themselves.
Yeah.
And all of that happens on top of existing systems. So you don't have to rip and replace, it just works beautifully on top of internal systems, and you can then leverage AI and all the promises of AI into real business value. So that's what we have been doing.
Well, how comprehensive is it? So just walk us through the platform. So those who maybe haven't seen a demo or seen what it looks like, how much does it allow an insurance company to do? How much of it is underwriting? How much do you guys tie into claims?
Yeah.
Is it a lot of it? Is it submission triage, and that people are able to go submissions more quickly, or how does it make people at insurance companies more effective?
Yeah. So we started working with a value prop that if we have to partner with a company and help them save plus make 100 million in monetary value using AI, what would that look like? And what solutions do look like today? So the solutions were either use the general purpose large language models like GPT and Anthropic and so on, through which you can build a lot of tools yourself, but the cost of managing it and maintaining it is a problem.
Yeah.
The other was to use these point solutions, which were good for one thing at a time, but that creates more data silos, and you have to then spend effort in integrating. We felt that there is something in the middle where you can leverage these general purpose models that are coming up, make it more fine-tuned for insurance, and then start automating one workflow at a time and start leveraging and so on. So that's what we have been doing. So it's actually pretty comprehensive. We work with some of the Accelerant on underwriting audit. We work with MSI on processing submissions, intake, triage, appetite check, and so on. We work with brokers on improving productivity of account managers through proposal generation, code compare, and so on.
Yeah.
So just a truly AI workspace that can automate many workflows, but we start with often one workflow with an enterprise and then go further, pun intended, in that. In a way, being a true AI partner to a firm. Our goal, James, is not to have thousands of companies work with us. We want to work with, let's say, 100 companies and make them super successful, and in turn be a successful AI partner to companies as well. So that's the approach that we are taking.
Yeah.
And
how crowded is the space that you're playing in? Because I feel like there's a lot of companies like yours that are popping up right now, and having gotten to know you guys a little bit, I feel like you guys are a little bit differentiated. But how do you guys differentiate yourselves from similar companies that are coming up?
We have the biggest Series A. I'm just kidding. So there are a lot of point solutions that are coming in, James. But the problem, again, we discussed with point solution is you have to integrate it and so on and so forth. What we learned from our early adopters is in insurance, you want your systems to be one system should do a lot of things. Guidewire does a lot of things. On the carrier side, on the broker side, you have Applied and so on. So it's often one or two companies that will own a layer. For us, it's the AI intelligence layer. We want to own it end to end. We want to be one of those two companies that the industry will go with. So that's what we have been doing. Now, a lot of it is hard work, building a platform which is as scalable as that, which has all the guardrails so that we can ensure security, compliance, auditability, traceability, things that haven't changed in last 20 years and shouldn't change, given insurance, how regulated that is. Building all of that takes efforts and time, and we have been putting that effort since last 2 years, been really building the best platform and solution for the industry. And people are starting to copy us, but I think we are ahead in that journey. and want to run like there is no tomorrow. That's what we have been doing as well. We have a great team behind us. You have met the team as well. So just trying to execute. And you asked me this one question when we met before that, Aman, don't let this fundraise get to your head. Which was interesting because what was in my head, James, was fundraise is a way to validate like that we have capital, but the real success for us would be those partners who would be our champions in the industry, and we can deliver success with them, for them, and so on. Make our champions or POC super successful within the organization and so on. So that's where we are headed. The fundraise will also help with hiring the best talent, best engineering talent in San Francisco and beyond to build for insurance and like build the best product there is. So that's what we are going after. Very execution focused, very building in public as well. All of us are learning together as well as software companies. So that's good. If you like something in further AI and if you want to replicate it, that would be a best form of flattery. So please go ahead and do that.
So Ty, what's the sales cycle process been like? And in terms of how you guys integrate with different companies, does the platform look very differently based on the company you're working with?
In terms of the sales cycle, one of the core approach has been to minimize risk for a partner who is evaluating further AI as a product they want to go with. So we do a POC. We do not charge for a POC. It's on us to ensure that we make it a successful POC. Even after the POC goes live, we are not signing 10-year contracts with companies because in the world of AI, you don't want to sign that contract. Keep a 1-year contract. The commitment is limited. Even within that, we keep a 2-month opt-out.
Yeah.
So like really trying to own a lot of risk on our side and then prove the value to our partners, because traditionally people said that insurance is slow to adopt technology. I feel that that's not quite the case. You have to manage the risk for your partners. If you can manage the risk well, we have been growing really fast. We have been doubling every quarter because just trying to manage the risk for our partners. That's been our sales cycle in terms of sales approach as well. We need more people in the team to ensure that we can keep delivering at the pace we have been delivering, and that's where this fundraising would really help us.
And what gives you the confidence that, I mean, because there's AI is so fast moving right now. There's a lot of people trying to solve similar problems. What gives you confidence that you guys will have a defensible moat and that somebody can't build something very similar for a fraction of the cost?
The AI models are improving, and we have positioned ourselves in a way that as the underlying models improve, further AI's output gets improved as well. That's where it's an orchestration layer on top of all of these models and the improvement that are happening. If GPT launches a new model which can navigate the web, we will integrate it in the platform and make it available for insurance workflows.
Yeah.
So the product actually looks pretty similar to all the customers that are there, but it solves different problems based on the use case that we started with. For an MGA, they could start with submissions processing, which involves 10 steps, and AI does those 10 steps, and then human can interact with it. For a carrier, they could use us for underwriting audit with all the MGAs they provided capacity for. The product looks similar. Instead of 10 steps, it might be 14 steps that AI would perform and then gets executed on that. So there's a library of workflow that can be built, and I believe that's the right way to implement AI, one workflow at a time. What's going to happen is very interesting. So right now these workflows are working independently, but imagine what would happen if these workflows can start talking to each other and orchestrating more work, solving more problems. And that's where it's headed as well. One of the big themes that I've been hearing is that the walls between different functions in insurance, claims, underwriting, compliance are actually thinning. And that product allows you to orchestrate that very, very well as well. So that's where we are headed.
So I guess one of the things like a lot of companies right now are trying to figure out what to do is build basically the build versus buy debate. It's can they build this internally? I mean, when you talk to companies about that, what are those discussions like? And I guess what do you tell them in terms of what they're going to get with by going with further AI versus trying to build something internally?
The focus from our side has been to start with things which are non-proprietary to insurance companies. So those things which are like the secret sauce, definitely companies should try to build it in-house. Our goal has been to allow for automation there are hundreds of use cases that can be automated with AI now, or use cases that can be amplified with AI. Our goal has been to look at those first and not just the ones that are like proprietary to companies. Another big thing, James, is again, not being a point solution really helps for us, because using further AI, companies can orchestrate many different workflow and automate different workflows as well. So they can start with one, add more. We have a workflow studio as well that we are going to be launching soon, through which the internal IT teams can create new AI workflows and create new AI agents and deploy them within business teams. So all of that is there. In any of these workflows, there are two parts. One is the technology, but then the process and people part of it is equally important. And I feel that with our partners, they have to do the difficult task of improving the process and also getting the adoption internally. We can do the first part really well, but we then partner with our clients to ensure that process and people part also gets solved for, which is equally hard. Like people, all of us are resistant to change, and that needs the right way to do it, right processes, right way to write playbooks, and so on. So that's the good balance where we could be the technology partner, we could be the AI partner, and internal teams can leverage us, and then create many workflows and automate different processes.
Yeah.
That are there.
Is there a data strategy? Like, are you sort of accumulating data? Or are you are you consuming data that I guess where it creates kind of a flywheel and creates a benefit to the platform?
Not quite. So we have been very clear from day zero that we are not training models on our customers' data. What we are doing internally, though, is we have a team of experts who is fine-tuning the base models to solve for insurance use cases. So that's what we are doing. That's our IP. Customer data is their IP. Whatever output they generate using AI is their IP. We've been very clear. It's a 0-1 strategy, that no training on your data.
Yeah.
Very clear about that. Because that creates the slippery slope. If somebody says that, we will anonymize your data and then train on that, like that we want to stay away from. Our goal is to improve productivity, amplify productivity, and automate workflows, and just trying to stick to that lane, have our blinders on that one.
So anyway, you guys is raised funding kind of in rapid fire. You did the seed earlier this year. You traded $25 million Series A. I mean, how did you find the funding conversations? How did it come together so quickly? What was the appeal to investors? And what do you plan to use the proceeds for? And basically, how did you guys have such a successful raise?
Yeah, so interestingly, the reason for raising funds was actually one of the customer conversations that we had. They were ready to go live with further AI, but then they were worried that what if the company does not survive the next 5 years? Like we had $5 million in bank and so on. So they wanted to speak with our board as well. So I arranged for a conversation with our early investors and told them that they will be doubling down and things like that as well. But that got us thinking that, okay, we want to build a big company, we want to build a great company, we want the dreams of going public, you know that. So what that would need is more reassurance to our partners that we need more capital in the bank. We didn't need the money as such. We still had $4 million in the bank available, but we needed the reassurance. We need to manage the risk for our partners. That is where I spoke to my network and got introduced with a few investors. The conversation was very simple, that you don't need the money right now, but it would give us the reassurance. And then Andreessen moved really quickly. Kudos to Joe and Angela. They have been great partner already so far. They have good network. I think that's one VC that every founder want on the cap table for how good they are as humans, but how effective they are in terms of the entire machinery they have as a company. They moved really fast. They reassured that the dreams are very aligned in terms of how they are seeing, how we are seeing. It just happened like in 2 weeks. Have happened like very rapid pace. And actually, a part of it is also luck, getting introduced to the right people, them thinking about the space in the same way that we are thinking about, the alignment of vision, the alignment of approach of working. Like we are very simple, I'm a very simple human being. I'm usually driven by two principles, like do what you said you would do and be really nice to work with. And Joe and Angela are the same kind. So
amazing.
Like a strong click that happened. And then we signed the term sheet and back to building for our customers. In terms of where we want to use the money, it's actually more for delivery of these AI solutions and having much bigger engineering teams that we can move more quickly on the space. and deploy the capital for that. That's going to be the primary goal.
And you're confident that you guys have a growth opportunity in front of you that would validate the return on investment?
Absolutely, yeah. So I do feel that I've done a company before, and one thing I sort of took away out of the first one is there are $0 million companies and there are $0 billion companies. Both companies at day zero have zero revenue, but one is architected in a way that it can reach few millions of dollars and maybe get acquired. And then companies that are architected in a way that they could get to billions in revenue. Further AI was the $0 billion company in the beginning, sort of moving towards that billion in revenue. And that sort of is what we are working towards. Things will change along the path. Like right now, we are just narrowly focusing on get to 100 million in revenue, make our partners super successful in the process, and so on. Things might change from 100 million to a billion. We have some thoughts on what that could look like, but that's for the future. So the hope and dream and goal is to go public, James, and hope to have you on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange floor with us as well, covering it. So
amazing. And how do you get there? I mean, is it by reaching as many companies as possible? And I mean, what does the growth strategy look like? I mean, where would you hope to be in 1 year's time, 5 years' time?
Yeah, so it's a staggered approach. Right now, we have 20 customers that we are working with. The goal is to make these customers super successful, because the footprint of the product is actually vast. We can automate many workflows across many functions. So we have opportunity to grow within these customers and make them super successful. To a path to, let's say, 100 million would look more like 100 partners. Each, we're working on 10 different workflows, and that gives us a 100 million revenue, rather than having 2,000 partners and so on and so forth. So we are avoiding the latter and sort of staying focused on limited number of partners. The evaluation goes two ways. They're evaluating us, but we are also evaluating with them that would they be a great partner for us for the next 10 years. So that's what we are going after. So for 100 million, it's going to be very simple. Get 100 partners to work with us and make them super successful, and then that makes us successful as well.
So talk about basically how you guys plan to iterate the product. I'm kind of curious the feedback that you've been getting from people, and as you learn more from your clients, as you guys develop the product more, like how do you plan on iterating and growing the product over time, and how might the product evolve over time?
Yeah, so we have 4 core pillars of product, and we have to work on all of the 4 pillars. Like one is building this AI for insurance, like adding more data to it and more fine tuning for it. The second big one is improving the library of workflows that exist and making it easy to create more and more workflows. The third big bucket is no AI is going to be perfect. No AI workflow is going to be perfect. So it needs that human intervention. So improving that layer where humans can interact with AI and correct it, give that feedback. And then the last big one is integrations with existing systems, so that the data can flow back between further AI and internal systems much more smoothly. So these are the 4 core pillars. We have work to do on all the 4 as well. I think product roadmap in that way is very clearly laid out for us for the next, 18 months.
So this is the second year in a row you've now been at ITC. I'd love to know how you found the event, how your conversations have gone, what you're here to accomplish, and what you make of ITC in general.
Yeah, so the first ITC was last year. It was a phenomenal event, but we were very overwhelmed because the product was work in progress. We didn't know much. We did not have enough funding in banks, like 2 people staying in the same hotel room and then hustling on the ITC floor. It was great. We got good conversations, good feedback, but that got us going. This time it's more like we are a decently established company. We're still a startup and hustling and proving ourselves out. We have a bigger team, we have a bigger booth, and have people that we have been interacting with for the last 1 year, people we have met over Zoom or other conferences. It's been phenomenal. It just an amazing event, sort of which brings together everyone, friends and colleagues and so on. So that'd been great for us. I feel through the event we also learned a lot. Like we did a session on claims ourselves, so putting that out there was a great learning experience, and have more leads as well that we'll work with and work through as well. Some of the leading companies have reached out on the back of the fundraise. So grateful for that, grateful for the event, grateful for everyone sort of who helped us with booth and every other logistics as well. Grateful for you, my friend, as well for doing this interview.
Excellent. Well, Aman, thank you so much for taking the time. It's been great getting your perspective. Love
course.
hearing the story, and enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.